Big alert for KULR, guys. I mentioned this in the Discord, and this is absolutely awesome. Guys, follow this. I'm telling you, big update. You're going to love this. So, when KULR, it's a strong company, good news. Everything's about it. Done all the research. You can, go to the news tab here, read a lot about the stuff. I really like this company, okay? It's strategically invested in Bitcoin. We've recently had this news with the collaboration with the U.S. Army. I mean, outstanding, right? Outstanding. So then we need to go and say, what does the chart look like? I am not just going to randomly buy. Everyone is freaking out and be like, oh man, we went from $5 and we went all the way back down to, $3. That's awesome because that's what me as a new bull wants to get in on. All right. So when price comes up and touches this ATR4, okay, we look for price to come back down. Okay. That is the purpose of this strategy. And you can see how this kept doing it religiously and religiously. If we go all the way back in November, right? This is how you catch an early uptrend. So the minute price, this daily candle touches my upper Keltner channel, which I have very strict settings. So if they do it, that means, we are in an uptrend just by that. And then you'll see too, on these EMAs here, they're all spread out and they're all going up. EMA 50 is at the bottom. Check, check. We have an uptrend for sure. And so the minute you see that, you get those pullbacks to these EMAs, which is your bounce effect idea. Realistically, I love the 10 the most, but I will play the 5 too. I'll put some smaller money in. So I put money in the 5 and the 10. And look, on this next day here, look at this bounce from the 10 all the way up here. You're making 38% in literally 1 day of time. Those kind of returns are insane. And I only play these levels one time because what happens is the more times you touch a level, right? They're like support resistance, you can come back into a bigger EMA. And that's what happens, right? We touch the 5 and the 10, we bounce up. When we touch the 5 and 10, I don't play it because I only play it one time. But guess what happens? We go all the way to the 20 and the 50. And then we make this atrocious move up, okay? It just keeps bouncing. We don't know which EMA it's going to be. The algos are like, bam, we want this one to be the big one. But we do know big odds that these EMAs with a big uptrend hitting my upper counter channel, that's the biggest moves you have on a high quality company, good fundamentals and everything. Look at this same pattern receipts. The minute it hits this upper band, guess what? We repeat the system. We hit the EMA 5, we bounce. 61% move. I'm telling you, can't make this up. All right, so it goes backs up and then it resets it. And guess what? We hit this upper band and do know that we could go to the 10. So that's what happens now. We hit the 5 and then we go to the 10. And guess what? Another 15%. So what is the kind of the profit target I'm looking at? Well, you could be like, well, I could target this upper band. Or you can do percentage terms. I look at percentage terms. No one can say exactly where a stock is going to go. That's ludicrous. No one has a crystal ball. No one has insider knowledge, or I hope they don't, because that's illegal. We don't know exactly what's going to go. So if you see $100 on the ground, you're going to take it, just like in the stock market. If you see that your account is up 20%, take the gains. Me personally, I am a very conservative player, and that's why my win ratio is so high. Because the lesser percentage you look to get, the more wins you're going to get, okay? And that's why this strategy works so well, because I've seen bounce effects happen. They only give you like 20%. So I've lowered it and say, you know what? I'm going to give every time I get 10%, I'm out. And that gets rid of all the emotions. I don't care if a stock runs 100%. It does not matter because I said no matter what, I'm out at 10%. And here's the kicker. I hold 10% of my shares for a much higher thing. So I put the break even for the rest of my shares and I hold the rest. So I take out 90% of my position, bam, right in here, I'm out. And guess what? It goes back and it's totally fine because I already took the gain. And look at this massive move up here, add some more at the 10 and we go up even higher. And so what can happen is the more times you touch this 5, right? We hit here, we go to the 5. Are we surprised? We bounced on the 5 and we made a big move. Look at this. This move went all the way up to 155%. And guess what? We are due for the new EMAs. And that's why I say, guys, if we touch this 5 on this new uptrend, and how do you tell if it's a new uptrend is when you recently touch this ATR4. As you can see, we have 3 different type of uptrends. This is the very beginning uptrend for KULR. Very recent, very new. I love those kind of uptrends because they're right there at the beginning. You catch it early. You can't catch something early. It's almost impossible to be like, oh, I think KULR is going to run really big when it's way down here. There's not much volatility, volume. You really, when you start seeing this run, then you start getting indications. Oh, some big people are in this thing. You got this thing's on a lot of scanners. But a lot of things is people get in early up in here, they get stopped out or they start complaining, and then they get out at break even almost just when it starts to run, right? But if you have a good average, where I suggested, you can see how the returns are absolutely insane. So, this was a different type of uptrend. Here's your beginning, and then it goes up here, makes a new uptrend, and then you can see how it just keeps bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. But do keep in mind the party is going to go into the lower EMAs. We are due for that EMA 10, and that's why I made a previous video, and I said, wait for the 10 this time. Do not keep playing the 5. We've had too many bounces on the 5 on this uptrend here. This is this most recent uptrend because we just recently hit this HR4. So we had the uptrend here, we hit the 5, we had the uptrend here, we hit the 5, and so, and right in here. So if you hit it more than 2 times, and me personally, I say, hold back from that now. You've made massive gains, don't just give it away. This 10 is my buy. Look at my last video about KULR. I said EMA 10 is my buy, and I made that video when it was way up in here. Nobody probably thought it would go from $5 all the way to $3. That's a hard prediction to make, and that's a hard thing to be like, man, I'm really bullish, and I don't want anybody to be like missing out on an opportunity. But what if this pattern did that? Did I know this was going to happen? Absolutely not. I am not going to be a trading god and be like, I'm a know-it-all, and I think that, price is going to go at this time. But I will say this. Price has to revert to the mean, but we don't know when. We don't know when. So if you know support and resistance will get broken. So the more times you hit the EMA 5, to me, that's an indication that we could go to the next EMA. And that's what, but we don't know how many touches that it could take. It could do like 10 touches. But I just know in the past experience, when I see more than 2 touches, that's getting to the point where I don't want to mess with it. So here we go. On this new uptrend, we had this EMA 10 now. This is your new uptrend. We have lots of, I call them new uptrends, but this has just been one solid uptrend. But when I say that, I say when we touch this Keltner channel of the ATR4. So my ad is here. As you predicted in the channel, I did actually take some off just in case if it dips back below, because as you can see, what did we get? We got about a 10% here from the lows, right? So I'm holding a very big position, though. Do keep that in mind. I took about 30% off here because I think usually the EMA 10 is the big bounce. But if I'm proven wrong, I don't mind if price pulls back to this 20 because I do like this company a lot. So it could do a 20% drop down to the EMA 20, and I will reduce my average drastically by buying it up in here. So my goal really is 10%, okay? I am going to take some size off, and I'll hold some at break even. And what the purpose of that is, if this goes up massive, right, from this EMA 10 entry, and then it just decides to pull back, and I didn't take any of these gains when it goes all the way, let's say, up in here, I'm going to feel pretty dumb if it pulls all the way back to the 20. I'm like, dang, you were up so much. Why didn't you take some off? and it will ruin your day. You're going to feel like an idiot, and you're like, man, why am I so greedy? And that's part of human nature. Everyone's greedy. Everyone's like, what if it goes here? I can make 20 grand. And that's the kind of the hard thing with trading. It's emotional. It's psychological. It's always like, well, it could do, what if this, what if that? And that's hard because you can't do that because we don't have, like I said in the beginning, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know exactly where it could go. But I can say this chart is very bullish, and I'm going to play it till it's not. So for me, personally, the 10 is your entry now. I said ignore the 5 in the last video, and then the 20 is my entry. If it does come down to the 50, like this beginning trend did, that's fine. That's totally fine. I will account for that. I don't see it happening because if you look at this, I don't know if you guys studied EMAs, but if you look at EMAs, if the EMAs are tighter, you see how this has not much distance to the current trend we're looking at, that means it's not as strong as a trend yet. But look at this. You see how the EMAs, you see the distance between each level. It makes it really hard to hit another EMA without a bounce effect. So if you see like we hit this upper band here, why are we getting the bounce here on that 10? It's because the levels are stronger than this. So kind of like measure it with your eyes and be like, it doesn't make sense for us to just go down to the 50. It would have to be terrible news. It would have to be a market sell-off or something that would cause it other than ordinary price action. So that's why we're bouncing on this 10. The algos are alerted to buy at these areas, and that's how what moves the market is algos. So hopefully you guys like this video. I want to keep it nice and short. We're already at 10 minutes. If you guys do want to join the Discord, I did mention this in the Discord in the premium chat. I'll say, hey guys, KUR is at EMA 10. I'm going to buy some, and there it is. Because I know lots of eyes are on this. A lot of people like it. I like it. Great company. But if you guys want to join the premium Discord, hit the link down below in the YouTube comments below, and the description will say join the premium Discord for my alerts and system. It'll take you to this free chat landing page. If you want to become a member, all you have to hit is day trade alerts, and you'll get access to all my systems for only $12 a month. And I made that so affordable so anybody, no matter what your account is, you can still make tons of money, understand a strategy that works, and over time, this can replace your 9-to-5 job and become a full-time trader. That I can guarantee because that's how I did it too. These are the strategies I do, and these are the only strategies I do. And I've been trading over 6 years doing full time, and I'm always improvising these strategies. So if you're, as long as you're a member, you will have the new updated knowledge in this system. So if you hit day trade alerts, you'll get access to everything. Hit server shop here. If you hit server shop on the top left, you'll read about the 2 memberships. I highly recommend the Day and Swing Trading Plus. Get access to everything. If that's still a little out of your budget, well, then I have something just for swing traders. It's a little more patient. You're not going to make as much. The KULR is a swing trade, so sometimes you have to hold a little longer. Sometimes it's days, pennies, usually not as long as my bigger caps, but $6 a month for those. But my favorite strategy, I'm just going to pull it out there, is day trading. I have a very nice strategy for the 1 minute scalping and then selling options. You guys are going to love it. Hope you guys like this video. Give it a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you subscribe, do it on your computer to avoid the iOS fee. And if you have an Android, you will have to do that. But guys, I would love to have you in the community. If not, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.